Yeah, this is Tactical Radio on Tactical United. And Man United playing Tottenham Hotspurs tomorrow, Sunday, 4:30 kick off. And the team needs to play well. Mourinho's going to be on it, but they haven't got Song. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think maybe he's going to play. I've got a feeling that Mourinho's hiding him in a basement somewhere, preparing him for this game. And it's like, we better win this game. This game is a do or die game for Oli. Like, we lose this game, shocking. It'd be shocking if we lose. I'll be shocked if we lose because I expect us to beat Tottenham. We're better than Tottenham. Like, I expect him to play Bailly, not Lindelof. He needs to really get that in his head and stop being so loyal and weak and soft. He's a soft, weak man, Oli. Soft and weak. He can't drop players. And when players should be dropped, he wants to give them chance after chance after chance. Like how many chances has he given Pereira? We all knew Pereira wasn't good enough even before Oli came. But Oli gave him a contract. And now we're shipping him out on loan to Lazio. Dalot is a better attacking than Wan-Bissaka. Sometimes if we need something extra in the game, you can bring on Dalot on right back and you can have a different type of option on the right instead of Wan-Bissaka. But Oli doesn't want to think like that. He wants to keep Timothy Fosu-Mensah. I mean, come on, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he's not even that good. He's not even good at attacking or defending. Like, I don't know what he's good at. And he got rid of Dalot for that, you know. He bought Daniel James, and now we're looking to... I don't know if we're going to really sell. I think it's just paper talk, because the papers and all the news on Twitter and whatnot are talking about Leeds still want Daniel James for 25 million because their other deal flopped. Now, I'm like, yeah, we need to do that. Like we need to sell that. But I have a feeling in my heart, like, this is just my intuition. Like, I got a feeling that Oli, he's like, no, I don't want to sell Dan James. He's only been here a year. You know, that's how Oli would drop something like that. Like, he's only been here a year. He needs another season to prove himself. Where we all know as fans that Dan James is never going to be a first team player. He's hardly good enough to be on the bench. And we should, if we're going to get profit of £10 million, we should take it. And I don't want to hear people talk about, but if you're not using it for Sancho, we use it for someone else. Because Dan James is never going to be good enough. So might as well sell him. You might as well sell him. And if Bielsa thinks he can do things with Dan James, so be it. I think he actually can. I think he's a system winger. He needs a system to help him play. If he has a system like Bielsa would create for him, oh my God, he may be devastating. So, let's sell him because Oli can't utilise him. Oli's not good enough to utilise a guy like Dan James. Fergie could utilise someone like Dan James because he could get the best out of him. But Oli can't. Oli cannot. He can't get the best out of anyone. He's got the best out of no one. He just makes people worse. But let's not talk about that today. Let's focus on the game. Because for me, Tottenham are just going to play in the low block because it's the easiest way to defend against Man United. Low block, try to break us down, and then hit on counter-attack. And they've got Birdwine, Lucas, potentially Song up there for pace to hurt us. But I think with Harry Kane, when they play with Harry Kane, I'm not scared of Tottenham. I know Kane is a good player and he can score and that. Don't get me wrong. Under Pochettino, Harry Kane was dangerous, but under Jose, he's not. He's playing very deep. He scored a hat-trick against Maccabi Haifa, but it's Maccabi Haifa. But they played well nevertheless, and they're going to be on good form, and they're going to come to Man United expecting to win, and Mourinho's going to expect them to win. But he may sit back and give us the impetus. So what we need to think about is how we're going to play. I think Oli will play Mata. I do. Now, if I'm Oli, I may consider playing Mata too, but just because it's more creative than Greenwood at this moment in time. Mata is more creative, and we need to unlock Tottenham. I feel like, that's what is needed against Tottenham, and then you can bring on Greenwood maybe after 60 minutes and bring on Greenwood 60 minutes. It's a good guy to have on the bench. Like, I would start Mata. I would start Mata. Personally, I would drop Martial and play Greenwood up front because Martial doesn't look right now. That's what I would do, but, that's just me. But yeah, with the Pogba, Van der Beek and Bruno situation, it's a tricky one. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a tricky one. I mean, it's very hard to drop Pogba, but he has been the worst player. But technically, Bruno Fernandes, for me, has been the worst player, but it's hard to drop someone like Bruno Fernandes out your team because it's not easy to drop Bruno Fernandes because you can score and he's very effective in the game. But I think I would play Van der Beek and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. I'll play that midfield and then see what happens in that game. Honestly, I would, and then play Fred. But I know Matic will play. So yeah, like this is the way I see it. I think what we need to do is break, obviously, Tottenham down, and they're gonna have two holding midfielders, and we're gonna have to push the fullbacks, and Wan-Bissaka is gonna have to do a job, but they're always gonna counter attack. So it's gonna be a tricky game. The first goal will indicate how the game goes, personally, but I don't see a high scoring game in this game. 2-1, 1-1, 1-0. This is one of them games. Like, it's not gonna be high scoring. But yeah, I mean, Bailey must play with Maguire because I think I've said from the beginning, Bailey is our best centre back. Like, he's our best centre back by a long stretch. For me, he just does things that centre backs should do. Where Maguire and Lindelof, they seem more afraid of the ball than actually willing to tackle and they seem afraid to make a mistake. Where Bailey doesn't care. It's confidence. Like, for me, like, obviously we're talking about this Alex Telles deal and all that stuff. If we bought Alex Telles, I would put Luke Shaw left side centre back and I'll play Bailey. That's how I would do it. Like, I would drop Maguire. Maguire's been a waste of money, let's be honest. He's not worth 80 million at all. You know, Igalo's done nothing like since lockdown, and he's basically not really worked. You have also, we signed Wan-Bissaka. Now Wan-Bissaka, he looked decent. I think with the thing with Wan-Bissaka, what we're finding out about Wan-Bissaka is, in the first half of the season, we were just really impressed with the fact that the guy was really good at tackling. But but we was playing a defensive system at the time. We was playing two holding midfielders, so we was all about defending. So it suits Wan-Bissaka. At Crystal Palace, he was the same type of guy. He was he'd sit back and he would make slide tackles. That's what he would do in that type of system. In a defensive system, Wan-Bissaka is very good. But in an attacking system, he's not. Like, he's just not. He hasn't got good positioning skill. He's got pace, but, you know, he seems like he just wants to make those tackles when he can't. He needs to think more about positioning than making tackles. And we paid 50 million for slide tackles. I've said this so many times. Like, he's not a good signing. Like, he's a player that can only play in a defensive system. He can't play in an attacking system. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to attack. He's not. Like, will he improve? I doubt it. Like, he doesn't overlap, but it's coaching. It's 60% him, 40% the coaching, and that's what it is. So Wan-Bissaka again is not worth 50 million, and it's another poor signing. Dan James poor signing, Maguire poor signing, Igalo poor. Fernandes is obviously good signing because he helped us to get top 3. That was definitely a good signing, but he just needs to be coached better. He needs to be coached better because he's getting worse now. More time he's spending at Man United, the worse he's getting. Why? The coaching. It's simple. So hopefully, like with Mourinho's team, obviously they're just going to rely on wingers. They're going to rely on their pace, but it's not going to break us down because if we have pace on the wings, they can't do anything. Like, they're just going to have to rely on Kane, and I think if you put Bay onto Kane will get snuffed out by Bay. Come on now. Bay will snuff Kane. Easy. All day, Bay's got Kane. All day. Come on. See, Kane, he's not that good. He's not. He's good at scoring goals. But I don't think he's that good. I genuinely don't. I genuinely wouldn't want him at Man United. He can score goals, fair enough, but he's too slow. He's one-dimensional. And, you know, since his last few injuries, he's lost something. He's not the same player that he was maybe 3 seasons ago. He was a bit more dynamic. His movement was a lot better. I mean, since that World Cup, don't get me wrong, yeah, he was the top scorer in the World Cup and he scored goals. But since that World Cup, I've seen him just be like that same level. Like, before he had like the potential to be one of the best strikers in the world. And I think in a better team than Tottenham, for example, if I was Bayern Munich, and Lewandowski, I would replace them with Kane because Kane is just like Lewandowski, but Lewandowski is a lot better. But Kane still has time, And I think he could get to the level, but I think he's just stagnating because he's staying at Tottenham and he needs to really make a move. But he's too expensive, and I don't think he really wants to go. So I think he's just going to be like that same type of player. So I'm not worried about Kane. I'll more be worried about Son, to be honest. And Son, I think he's injured, but I think he's still going to play. I have a feeling he's still going to play, but we'll see. We'll see. My score prediction. Like, I see that game going. It's two ways of going. Like, I look at it like the first way it could go is we could score an early goal, and then Tottenham have to come out and we can score again. Do you know what I'm saying? I just see a 2-0, 2-1 to Man United. That's all I see. I see a 2-0, 2-1 to Man United. That's what I expect. We're better than Tottenham. We can't be complaining about signings and stuff when we're better than Tottenham, even with their signings. Like, we can't be complaining. We have Fernandes, we have Van der Beek, we have Pogba, we have Mata, Matic, Martial. You guys think Rashford is great. I don't, but apparently we have Rashford too. We have Greenwood, and we have players that can do things. So, and then Rashford can do things on his day. Let's be honest. On his day, he can do things, but how often that day comes, we can never tell. But he definitely can do things. So we have players, and if we just play Bailly and Maguire at the back, I personally play Bailly and Lindelof because I think Lindelof's better than Maguire. I think we'll be comfortable. So yeah, I'm looking at 2-1, 2-0 to Manchester United. I don't see us signing anyone. We're selling Delo. We're loaning out Delo. We loaned out Pereira. We're trying to get money for Smalling. I hope we sell Dan James and Smalling, and I hope that will make us sign Sancho and Telles. But I'm just not confident. I'm never confident. And if they're leaving it to the last minute, like Ollie's press conference, he was also saying we prepare for. He said we're going to be monitoring even after the transfer window's over. So what? You're just going to monitor forever? You're going to monitor just forever? Is that what you're going to do? So you're just going to monitor? Oh no! Do you know what? Let's wait till the next window, like you did with Fernandes. You're going to keep monitoring. So you're going to make the perfect selection, because none of your selections have been perfect. You know what I mean? So for me, I just want that right wing, and I want that left back, and yeah, okay, we can move forward. But I don't even think Ollie wants those players at the club, because he knows the pressure will be on to do something, and he wants that excuse, that he wants the pressure off him. I don't think he really wants to sign these players. I'll be really honest with you. He wants the pressure off him, because if he signs players, then expectation levels will be like, okay, it's all on you now, Ollie. And I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he wants them. I don't. I just think he's a fraud. I think he's a fraud, and I think his whole thing is about, like, he's a liar. He's have you seen his press conferences? He's just lying. He's like, he doesn't answer questions. He's not, and he doesn't have to talk about the board. He doesn't even talk about his own ambitions and what he wants. He just talks about, I've discussed things with the club, and the club know how I feel. Like, how does he feel? How does he feel? Like, does he feel that we don't really need Sancho? He's not really worth that amount of money? Like, we don't know how he really feels. He's not saying anything. Everyone thinks, he wants Sancho. He wants this person. But if he buys Sancho, the pressure on him, can he handle that? Can he deal with that? Because he knows he'll get chopped. If he buys Sancho, he knows he's getting chopped. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, I'm Tactical Red. This is Tactical United. Everybody, it's raining in London where I'm at right now, but try to enjoy your day, because I'm going to try to enjoy mine.